2020, 4 p.m. I want to welcome all the visitors that are here today. Let's start off by standing and saying the pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Need the cloud say the invocation, please.
Let us bow in prayer. Most gracious and everlasting Father, as once more again we come to say thank you for your grace and mercy. We thank you for last night's rest. We just thank you for keeping us throughout our day. Lord, we ask you to bless this meeting and every decision that we make be in the betterment of Dillon County. All this we ask in your Son, Jesus Christ's name. We give you the mighty praise. Amen.
Amen. Number 3 now, approval of agenda. We have a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Any opposed? 4, approval of minutes, 7/14/20, 7/22/20, 8/5/28, 26/20, and 9/1/20. Requires a motion.
I make that motion, Mr. Chair.
A motion is second. A motion second. All in favor? Any opposed? 5, public hearing. An ordinance authorizing the issuance and sale of not exceeding 1.2 million general obligation bonds, Series 2020 of Dillon County, South Carolina, fixing the form and details of the bond, providing for the payment of the bonds, authorizing the chairman of county council and county administrator to determine certain matters relating to the bonds, providing for the payment of the bonds, disposition of the proceeds of the bonds, and other matters relating thereto.
Nobody signed up.
All right. 6, charter elevator. New business. 6A.
This is for the maintenance agreement on the elevators. We currently got 2 providers. Got Bison that does the courthouse, and then Otis does the 2 in the city county complex and one in the Gibson building. The charter elevator is a 3-year contract. We'll get out and look at it before we sign it. It's $700 a month, which would be about $8,400. And I think currently we're paying over $23,000 for the same service. I guess you make that contingent on being able
We
to
get out of the other contract.
get
Get
contracts.
that, and we're working on doing it.
Do you need to make a motion on it?
You can make a motion to accept the proposal contingent on the other contracts getting canceled. And then we can bring, whenever they bring us a written contract, we'll bring it back to you at that time. I think this gives us opportunity to move, to at least let them know that we're wanting to move forward with it.
I need a motion to move forward and checking on this.
I'll make the motion.
Got a motion, need a second.
Second.
Motion and a second, any more discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? 6B, PD Regional COG, Workforce Development.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, this is a proposal we get from PD Council of Governments or PD Regional Workforce Development group down there in Florence, represents us with PD Region. They got this information from Joetta Dukes, who's with Workforce Development Director. It's just our normal agreement we normally sign with them to provide those following services, which they do every year. So just need the council to approve it. That would be us and 5 other counties that will sign the same agreement.
Okay. Requires a motion.
Make the motion to approve.
Got a motion, need a second.
A second.
Motion and a second, any more discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? 6C, recreation request.
We got, Jack's asked for $500 for Fort Chapel Church and $500 for Miracle Temple Church. And Swift Buffet has requested $150 from each one of you for the high school sports report.
I'll give it
Give one big.
to you. Yeah, I'll give it to you.
That's all.
Requires a motion.
Make that motion, Mr. Chair.
Motion need a second.
I'll second.
Motion and a second, any more discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? 6D, fuel pumps.
Okay, this is to, update our software for the fuel pumps out there. I think the problem we have now, I think our system's about 20 years old. When something goes wrong, they have a time trying to get it fixed, so they can't get the parts. And I don't think they really know how to work on it any longer because it's so old. We got 2 quotes on the updating the software. One was Fatco, and their quote for both is $32,970.97. And the other quote was from Mako. That quote was $36,814.78.
Can you explain to the rest of the council why we're actually doing this now?
Yeah, the other thing we were wanting to run the low sulfur fuel. Right now, at Roads and Bridges, they have one for the off-road diesel, and they have gas. At the fire department, they just have gas. So we want to convert the one at Roads and Bridges gas over to a low sulfur fuel, so like the ambulances and our newer trucks can run that fuel.
What makes this thing so, I mean, I'm ignorant about this. Sound to me like a fuel pump. We use them at work all the time, fuel these cranes and stuff like that.
What it is, you buying diesel from Love's, like your trucks at the landfill, your ambulances, your fire trucks, where we can get it cheaper and have our own tanks. What we're looking to do. 25 cents a gallon cheaper.
And then this is just the software part of it, so it comes into miles. And we monitor the usage and that sort of thing.
But that's the reason getting it upgraded, because you don't have everybody going to get their fuel.
I'm used to taking a $10 hand pump. $36,000.
Mr. Daddy, you perked my interest when you said that about the software coming into your office so you can monitor. Can you actually check the usage from your office with this software? Just the principal reason that we're buying this so we can.
Well, that's a benefit of it, but the principal reason is if the pump goes down, I mean, it's 6 months before they can try to figure out how to get it going. Now, I think the technology is outdated and the newer crowds coming in don't know how to work on it, but yeah, we can monitor it daily. And it'll have some more features than the other one.
It'll pay for itself, just the trucks at the landfill won't fit.
Yeah, man, I won't worry about it. It's just so shocking a pump, you know.
Yeah.
Audit
And,
required.
Mr. Chairman, it'd also be taken out of the bond too, you know, like,
Yeah, it's
part of the bond issue, 1.2.
It requires a motion.
I make a motion that we accept the lowest bid of $32,900 and what?
970, 97.
Got a motion, need a second?
I second.
Motion and a second, any more discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? 7, old business.
There's no old business at this time.
All right, 8, finance report.
You got anything?
Yeah, I believe I got one. Let's kind of bring up date where we are today. Our general fund, we have $2,221,330. We got accounts payable to come out of that of $603,862. Leaves us a net available balance of $1,617,468.
Any other question? 9, county administrator report.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I just got a few things on the door. Most of y'all got this, so I just want to make sure everybody got it. I think I get everybody going out to the public too. I know the census, we had James Bostic here, who was last year talking to us about the census, and they had contacted me back, I don't know, a good while ago, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, and was asking about, a group was trying to put together a statewide census count or census deal to fill out the census work there. So in addition to working with the census, we also got some information on, also being able to provide free flu shots, free COVID testing. Also want to thank Betsy Finkley for all the newspaper have done an excellent job on helping us try to promote this, and we've gone out to all the agencies around the state. It's us and about 15 or 16, 17 other counties in South Carolina. So I'm excited we're one of those counties that's actually promoting this. We're going to have it at Dillon Wellness Center on this Saturday, September 26th, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Richard Gagg's going to handle most of it for us through myself, and we're hoping to get more volunteers and get some stuff, and that's right here. So, but I did want to promote that we get out there and y'all promote as much as we can to see if we can get the census up, and also be able to provide some other services. So too, Betsy, what's some of the other stuff we're doing too?
The Dillon Long-Term Recovery Group is going to bring like masks and sanitizers to hand out to people, and the Dillon County Health Initiative is going to give out school supplies for elementary through high school.
So it's going to be a good event at the Dillon Wellness Center out there on Commerce Drive.
And the Dillon Chamber, Johnny Lewis has helped you a lot.
I definitely want to thoroughly thank Johnny Lewis for all her work that she's participated. She's been one of our major players to try to get out. She's helping us get it out to the chamber and helping us coordinate it through the events out there.
Just out of curiosity, I believe I read in the Dillon Herald where we had a poor census report in Dillon County.
Yeah.
Well, the question I have is, my wife and I hadn't done a census thing, and a lady came by the house and filled ours out for us. Well, if she did ours for us, how did it end up being a poor census report if they got people out in the field?
They've got people out in the field, I do know that. The COVID-19 kind of threw everybody a little bit of, things like that.
So are they still going on with the census?
Yes, they're still going on, but
It ends in the month.
But it ends September 30th, and
Yeah.
supposedly.
I think some of the field work came later on when they said a lot of people wasn't filling it out.
Right.
That came later on.
Plus you had the COVID going in.
Right.
And these
So-
field workers, a lot of them, when they get to a house, I've worked it 10 years ago myself.
Right.
Some people won't come to the door, they'll be in the house. Some people, when they get tell them what you want, they'll slam the door in your face
Yeah.
and go on in, they just won't do it.
So that, there's a couple of ways. I mean, you can go online and get it done. There's a way to do it online.
And you can call a toll-free number.
Call the toll-free number. There's a couple of ways. These people are going to be helping you Saturday, get it done.
So another question, just out of curiosity, for all of us to know, if you don't know, how bad is a poor census report going to hurt us financially as a county?
It's
3,000.
substantial.
It's 3,000 per person.
They say it's roughly 3,000 per person that's undercounted. So therefore, it does make a huge difference when it concerns, numbers we report to the state, to the federal government, and to the different agencies.
The last figure I had on the population of Dillon County was 32,562, I believe. So if we don't have about half that, do
Yeah.
a census.
Yeah, that's some issues that we're fighting up against now too, is getting everybody out to be able to do the census. So we're hoping that, hoping this event and some other, be able to do it when you're out here. So I know the whole state's struggling with it, I know that, and I'm sure the whole country's probably struggling with it too, but hopefully we can do that. I think it's an important event. I think it's going to be a good thing for everybody to come out and be a part of this and take this advantage of, take this opportunity to fill out census forms, or at least figure out how to go home and fill it out. A couple other quick things I just want to go over. Tomorrow morning at 10:30, we're doing the deep site readiness program at the City of Dillon Wellness Center too. I've been working with Duke Energy now. Lisa Miller and I have been working diligently for what, 6 months? At least 6 months. And Duke Energy came to us along with DISA and basically asked us to participate in this initial phase, which was about 6-7 months ago. And it was us and I don't know exactly how many sites. There was a tremendous amount of sites throughout South Carolina. And we were chosen, us in Newberry County. I'm trying to remember the other ones. There's 3 of us that were chosen, but it's us and Newberry County is another county, but we were the only one really in the PD. We were the only one in the PD region that was selected for this deep site readiness program. It's the site that's the Woodle, what I call the Woodle property, which is out near the Port Cyclone Port Star. But it's if you read the information that Duke provided to us is if you're actually selected or chosen as one of the sites, which we were, that they will basically do all the marketing from the standpoint of it. They will do everything they can from their standpoint to market this piece of property because it's actually in their territory, in their site, in their locations for power uses. So it's really kind of I'm very happy we were chosen. We spent about one whole day, Lisa Miller and I spent one whole day going through all the different aspects of it, and I think you'll see tomorrow too, you'll see the actual location, all the location in the proximity. They looked at the water, the sewer, the power, the electricity, the gas, all the proximity, and they wanted to be, as close to the port as they could within that Carpenter territory. So I think it's really a good thing for us, and like I said, us chosen from Duke Energy, they'll do everything they can to help us and Department of Commerce promote this site. So I think it's a very good program for us to be. It's tomorrow morning at 10:30 at the Dillon Wellness Center. It should last about an hour and a half. Is that right? Should be over about 10:30 to 12. So it should be a good program, good thing to get. I also want to thank NISA too for all their help. Andrew Golden and Jeff McKay and his staff did a tremendous job of helping us get that site too. So I'm excited that we're going to get this site on as a potential economic development site for us. A couple other things I want to quickly go over. We're looking at doing, getting some information on a time card system or employee time card system where people can either use a phone or they can use a fingerprint or a potential card system like that. You go to a fingerprint system or to some type of tracking system for employee time cards. So instead of people manually filling out their time sheets, basically we'll go to a tracking system from that standpoint, employee time cards. We should be able to tie in all the departments. They've made a lot of improvements over the years, so I did mention it the other day to the Finance Committee. Hopefully I get some more final numbers, but it looks like it's going to be a reasonable price to do this, and that way it should make it easier for employees and for the payroll department to be able to process payroll through a time card system. Will actually show you, that time came in, that time you want to be back, whatever time check that too. Second thing is we're looking at, I've got some information on the tracking system. We're looking at a couple of different companies, looking at Verizon, a couple of other companies in the tracking system for county vehicles. I know a lot of counties throughout South Carolina are currently using those systems to track county vehicles to know where they're at, not only from a security standpoint of knowing where they're at, but also safety reasons of that aspect. It'll actually show the tracking system. I know there's a lot of counties that are actually doing that. I know we actually did that in Lancaster County years ago when I used to work there. But it's a way for us to be able to manually track where the vehicles are, where they've been. It'll show the time it's cranked up, time it's left, time came back, and different stuff like that. But we're doing that, and surprisingly, those numbers have come down substantially. I mean, we've got systems out there of less than $6,000 or $8,000 for 30 or 40 vehicles. So I think I know that a lot of counties are switching to that, and I would highly recommend that we look at pursuing that.
How long did it last when you started it? Was it something that faded out over a period of time?
No, most
We've done
of
that with the companies that I've been with, these big companies, and just don't last.
Yeah, some of them, like I said, you basically, the ones I've seen is that, usually you buy the initial system, and if you have to upgrade it, it gives you so many years you have to upgrade, you may have to upgrade to a different software package. I knew in Langston, when we started out, they didn't have phones, so you couldn't track on the phone. Nowadays, you can track just about anything to a phone or computer or something like that. So basically, what it'll end up doing is basically enable us to be able to track by department, by vehicle as you go.
They've had that out, what, 25, 30 years?
Like I said, we did it back in the mid-90s when I was there at Langston County, back in 1998 or 7 or whatever, we put the tracking on the system there. It really tells you, from a safety standpoint too, when the vehicle's cranked up, when the vehicle left, how fast it was when we went from point A to point B and vice versa. So I think it gives us a way to do it, also gives the department head and administration an opportunity to be able to find out where the vehicles go and that type of stuff. Those are two things I'd probably would highly recommend we do. I think the time card system, payroll system, we've got a number of different ways nowadays to do it. You can do it through your phone. You can do it through a couple of different ways. You can do a swipe card. You can do a fingerprint. There's like 5 or 6 different ways to do that. So I think I'll probably come back and there'll be some offices may be a little bit different, other depending on certain situations like that too. So some cards actually may need a punch system with their finger. Some may not. Some may need a swipe card. Some can actually use their phone. So there's a couple of different ways to do it. And it'll actually, the programs we're looking at will basically track it all the way in and go directly to our payroll system. So we can monitor it through the payroll system so we don't have to go in there manually keying in like we used to. So it'll save time and money for us to be able to do that too. And so most agencies, a lot of state agencies are already doing it. A lot of state and federal agencies are already doing it. So a lot of other counties are doing the same thing. So on that too. Anybody got any questions with those? Yeah, go ahead.
Did you get a chance to meet with Jackie Gleason about the gravel? What's the update on that?
Yeah, we will also get Richard to talk about. You talking about the Rocking the Road?
Yeah.
We've got information on that too. Yeah, we met with the Seafund committee. We actually went. Earl Gleason and I and Herb Cooper actually went to to Lee County and looked at what they did and how they did it. And we came back and met with the Seafund committee. Richard was there with us. And we came up with a way, what we were going to do is basically bid out the rock, the rock that they recommend, McCallum's.
Yep,
McCallum. And basically we would bid it out per tonnage and have the actual trucks, like you said, deliver it to the site. And then talking with our public works people, Steve Mooney, his Roads and Bridges, we feel like if we could get somebody to actually deliver the rock to the site, that would save us a tremendous amount of time and effort. And then all we have to do is take our motor grader and just spread it out. So it's going to take, we feel like we can do a better job by doing it that way and be more of a quicker, faster way to do it.
I think probably looking at, one road probably take probably less than a day.
Okay, so how close we are to actually putting the trucks out there dumping the rock?
Soon, the bid, they got to September 30th to get the bids in.
Okay.
So once we get those in, and I think it'd be beneficial to us to go ahead and get them done and quick as possible.
I think
we've got some more money behind this one that they have allocated to us to do this road.
Right.
So the first amount we had allocated was how much?
It's 100,000 on this.
About 100,000. Some of it, give or take a little bit more, a little bit, on that. And then I think they had up to 250, 300.
Yeah, allocated 300,000 for this year.
Right. So we got what I think what like Rich said, what the idea is to spend this 100,000, and then immediately once that starts getting done and finished, we go ahead and bid it out, or even continue with that same one if we feel like that's one and keep on going. We feel like it's going to really speed up the process and also hopefully do a better process of what we've got.
Yeah, I think Seafund committee wanted to kind of look, see how it came out this first 100,000 for the committee to hold all the white schools.
A couple other things on there too. I did look at the procurement policy. I'm the one that actually implemented procurement policy years ago. It needs to be modified and changed. I'm probably going to bring something back to the finance committee and go through that. I know there's been some issues changing with the state and feds on how things are purchased and how things are done, so we're probably going to need to modify that. And there's some other things that dealing with procurement policy that probably need to be modified or upgraded from that too. So I just want to let you know that the Finance Committee is going to be looking at that, and we'll make a proposal back to you on that. Employee handbook, there's some information on there that we feel like, I asked Ms. Miller and myself, been looking at that. There's some issues there associated with, we need to modify some of the employee handbooks concerning social media and other things like that need to be addressed in the future. So we'll have Alan Berry definitely involved with that, and procurement policy on that part there too. But got a lot of things on the table we're trying to tackle as we go, but I feel like we're hopefully I want to kind of notify the full council so everybody would know that even though the committee's been working on it, I still want to notify the full council that these are some policy procedures that we're working on. We think we can hopefully get something back in a very short period of time. Anybody got any other questions?
10, ordinance reading. A, first reading, an ordinance to convey Dillon County's interest and tax map number 104-08-05-016 to the Latta Library Foundation Incorporated to approve a lease agreement between Dillon County and the Latta Library Foundation Incorporated and other matters related thereto. Requires a motion.
Made that motion.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? B, third reading, an ordinance authorizing the issuance and sale of not exceeding 1.2 million general obligation bonds, Series 2020 of Dillon County, South Carolina, fixing the form and details of the bonds, providing for the payment of the bonds, authorizing the chairman of county council, the county administrator to determine certain matters relating to the bonds, providing for the payment of the bonds, the disposition of the proceeds of the bonds, and other matters relating thereto. Requires a motion.
I made that motion.
Got a motion, need a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? 11, executive session, Dillon Furniture.
Mr. Chairman, can I make just, the three counties were us, Newberry, and Lancaster. I just want to make sure we, just out of curiosity, so it does show that we were the deep site readiness program. So I think that shows.
Executive session, Dillon Furniture requires a motion.
Make a motion to go into executive session.
Motion, need a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposed? We're now going into executive session.